my dear listeners, stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on YNR. Claire chooses Victor, Kale is left reeling, and Summer's return could change everything. The Young and the Restless story. The most recent Young and the Restless rumors don't confirm that Claire Newman has officially broken up with Kale Abbott for Victor Newman, but the spoilers are definitely pushing the story in that direction. Recent recaps show Claire defending Victor and saying he would never hurt Lily or her kids. Kale, on the other hand, is furious that Claire and Victoria won't hold Victor accountable for what he did. Other spoiler coverage, on the other hand, says that Claire is thinking about a big decision of her own, and Kale's love life is still clouded by the possibility of Summer's return. That's what makes this story so interesting. For months, Claire has been trying to figure out where she fits in, but Victor keeps making it impossible. In a recent recap, Claire told Nikki at Society that Victor would never accept her relationship with Kale. Victor also said openly that he didn't want to give Kale a fair chance. Kale was, of course, very angry about the whole thing. That story is important because it shows why even a small move toward Victor can feel like a full breakup in the works. The current rumor will take that frustration and turns it into a much bigger question. What if Claire stops trying to fight Victor and just picks him? Not in a romantic way, but in a loyal way. The spoilers say that Victoria is already telling Claire what to do as she tries to decide whether or not to help her mom and Victor at Chancellor. This makes it seem like Claire is getting closer to Victor in both business and family matters. That kind of pull can be just as strong as a soap opera romance. When Claire starts to side with Victor, Kale has to deal with more than just her boyfriend problems. He is working with a Newman group. Kale can also feel the ground moving beneath him. Spoilers say that he is still upset about his parents' broken marriage and Claire's loyalty to Victor. Another report says that Claire doesn't know about bigger moves involving Holden and Kane. Kale is stuck in a familiar place, trying to keep his personal life together while Victor keeps changing the battlefield around him. Kale might start to feel like the relationship is being decided for him if Claire keeps moving toward Victor's side of the family. This is where Summer comes in, and this part of the story could be a real soap opera. Several spoiler and commentary articles say that Kale's life could change when Summer comes back, especially since they could always get back together in theory. One source says that Summer's return could change Kale's love life, while another says that Kale's romantic reboot might still leave room for a reunion with Summer later. In other words, Kale could be at a crossroads just as Claire starts to get closer to Victor's world. That's why the idea behind the title Claire dumps Kale for Victor seems so likely as a spoiler-style story. The show has already made it clear that Victor is a huge problem for Claire and Kale, and the latest talk suggests that Claire may not want to fight him as much as she did before. One recent recap even showed Claire and Victoria not holding Victor fully responsible, which is exactly the kind of thing that would make Kale feel left out. Kale might think Claire is betraying him if she decides that fighting Victor is useless even before the breakup. The emotional issue for Claire is that she is being pulled in two different directions by Victor's approval and Kale's love. Victor can give you protection, a place in the family, and power. Kale is in a real relationship, but Victor has always tried to ruin it. That tension has been there for a long time, and the most recent spoilers make it sound like Claire is finally getting to the point where she has to choose which part of her life is more sustainable. The problem is that the choice she makes to stay alive could look like a rejection to Kale. All of that gets even messier when Summer comes back. Claire and Kale haven't been living in a bubble of safety later, and Summer's absence has only made the idea of a reunion more appealing. Several spoiler roundups from the past few months say that fans still see Summer as the biggest problem for Claire and Kale's future. One article even says that if Summer comes back, it could ruin any chance of a Claire reunion. So if Claire breaks up with Cale now, Summer might be the only person who can make it feel like it's over for good. The current direction is also a bit ironic. Cale has worked hard to show Claire that she can trust him, but the spoilers keep putting him in a situation where trust is the one thing he cannot control. He has to deal with Victor's meddling, Claire's mixed feelings of loyalty, and the fact that Summer might come back and change everything again. That story makes Cale seem less like a player in charge and more like a guy who is waiting to see which woman gets there first. So no, the show hasn't confirmed a real Claire and Victor romance or a final scene where Cale gets dumped, but the spoilers do suggest something almost as dramatic. Claire moving closer to Victor while Cale loses ground, and Summer's possible return could make that loss permanent. That is enough to make Cale's heartbreak very soapy, because he might not be watching just one breakup, he might be able to see two possible futures at once. Claire leaving him and Summer coming back into the picture. This is exactly the kind of setup that the young and the restless loves the most. Claire is stuck, Victor is impossible, Cale is angry, and Summer's shadow keeps getting bigger. If Claire picks Victor's world over Cale's heart, things will not go smoothly. It will be emotional, public, and probably hard to change back quickly. If Summer comes back to Genoa City at the wrong time, Cale might find out that losing Claire is just the beginning. And this is where the story quietly turns into something much bigger than a love triangle, because in my eyes, Claire isn't just choosing between the two people. She is choosing the kind of life she is willing to live, and that choice, it comes with a price. If she leans toward Victor, she gains power, protection, and a place in a legacy, but she risks losing the one person who chose her without conditions. And that's what makes this feel so real and so heartbreaking. Cale isn't just losing control of the situation, he is starting to realize that love alone may not be enough in a world ruled by Victor. And honestly, I think that's the tragedy here. Not betrayal, but inevitability. Because when someone like Victor pulls you in, it doesn't feel like a decision, it feels like gravity. And once Claire stops resisting that pull, is there even a way back for her and Cale? But here's where it gets even more intense, because Cale standing still might be his biggest mistake. If Summer walks back into this storm at the exact wrong moment, everything could flip overnight. And let's be honest, history has a way of repeating itself when emotions are unresolved. So now the real questions begin. If Claire chooses Victor's world, will she regret losing something real for something powerful? And if Summer returns, is she coming back for closure or to reclaim what she never truly let go of? Personally, I don't think this ends with a clean breakup. I think it explodes slowly with misunderstandings, timing, and one emotional decision that changes everything. And my prediction, Cale won't wait forever. Someone will reach him first, and that moment will decide his future. So keep watching closely, because the next move won't just break hearts. It might redraw the entire map of relationships. And the most shocking part, it may already be too late to fix what's about to fall apart.